No, absolutely. And the thing about FaZe is that FaZe, I feel like, still has untapped potential. They have moments where they look absolutely unstoppable, unbeatable, where they do things like beat Rogue. And then they have moments where they just fall apart where they shouldn't. So FaZe definitely a team that is a lot of ups and downs, no doubt about it. But I feel like the more they play together, the more the odds that we see the ups rather than the downs.
I completely agree. I think their best maps are actually on those control maps, because when you have DPS that can go off like Shadowburn and Too Easy, then you're going to be able to dominate those control maps. The big question for this FaZe team has been, they're going to win games when both Shadowburn and Too Easy are on. And it has been a question of, can they both be on at the same time enough for them to win games? Because there are often cases when Shadowburn has a great game and Too Easy is nowhere to be seen, or vice versa. So when they're both on, very actually similar to compLexity, when both the DPS are on, they're a very difficult team to beat. And I think Zoms is a great Zarya. We'll see what he can bring, even on his McDonald's Wi-Fi.
So one thing I think is really interesting to point out on the side of FaZe is really the variability of Too Easy. There's no better example than day 1 of E-League for FaZe versus day 2, where day 1 Too Easy came out pretty weak, wasn't really dropping heads, and then he came out in day 2 and he was on fire. It was a big reason why FaZe was able to do well. They weren't able to win it all in the end, but they came out as a much stronger team. So Too Easy is definitely one to watch, where we'll see very quickly if he's having a good Too Easy day or a bad Too Easy day.
Yeah, so right now they're kind of holding back here, a little bit of a hybrid defense, as they do put one of their supports up onto the high ground, not really prioritizing server room as the offense rolls through on stairs, trying to get something done, kind of stymied there as Hardblue goes on very early to Too Easy's Reaper.
Too Easy able to get that first pick off, and that's one of the dangers for Roadhog. It's not that Roadhog loses one-on-one the Reaper, it's that if the Roadhog uses his hook on something other than the Reaper, Reaper can very quickly tear him apart. So Roadhog always has to be aware of where the Reaper is, and if necessary, save resources to deal with him when the time arises.
Yeah, I do like what their DPS are doing right now, just kind of holding high ground, making sure that they can bully it through. Shadowburn is trying to bait someone in so that Too Easy can come around to this rock and completely eliminate them. They are going to rotate up top here, but Shadowburn has gone off the stairs. Too Easy still looking for kills as Torque rotates and gets the shield, still not much. Kind of posturing from both teams coming out.
There's a little bit of posturing from both teams. Too Easy right now, taking it easy, but take a look at Shadowburn. He's going to have Dragonblade up sooner rather than later. Running the defensive Genji, something you don't see a whole lot nowadays. It's almost a Shadowburn-specific thing sometimes. A lot of teams keeping Genji more for offense, not an all-purpose pick. But when you're Shadowburn and you're that good at Genji, why not use him no matter the situation? And Dragonblade going to be good to go here in just a moment.
So offense and defense essentially switch places here as they rotate around the top, find nothing there as the defense rotated through room. It's 5v5 right now.
Oh no, nano boost Genji rolling in. Shadowburn on the triple kill, looking for more, going in, gonna find Torque at the very end. 4 kills for Shadowburn. It's bad enough, Hex, when he's just normal Shadowburn, let alone the Dragonblade, let alone the nano boost. It's just, honestly, at some level, a little bit unfair.
Yeah, a lot of teams do think that it's kind of overkill to throw it onto your Genji, but if you are all in on the Genji, which I think Shadowburn is a key cog in how they're going to win games, then why not do it? So, interesting play there as they do use a couple ultimates to hold, and I think tonight has been one of the nights where we've seen like teams just bucking the meta, where like we're going to play our best heroes, and it's been across the board teams doing that.
All right, well, speaking of Dragonblades, we have Torque with the Dragonblade, and he gets slapped. Those 6 magic seconds going to do nothing. However, the rest of the things for compLexity is still working okay. Harblu still around, finds Lucio, gets another pick off, and this is Harblu's map. This is his playground. Whole Hog going to be coming in, and Harblu picking up yet more kills. Such a huge threat here, juggling on the wall, finishing at the melee. That was almost out of a fighting game, Hex.
Yeah, just really nice initiations there from Harblu. The moment they stop thinking about him is the moment he comes in and wrecks them. Too Easy trying to come and install this out. They have designs on trying to fight. Here comes the sound barrier for the defense.
They're coming in, they do pick up 1 kill, but Nicholas having enough of that, drops the Death Blossom, takes down 2, primary fires for a 3rd, and that is going to be compLexity getting into the hangar phase. And now, for FaZe, that was high risk, high reward, where they didn't get the reward, and now they're gonna have to deal with the consequences, which is that on the hangar phase, compLexity is gonna be able to get some pretty good positioning on them.
I think the reward is not worth the risk at all because you lose right there. You're losing a lot of momentum in the shuttle phase. Luckily for them that the offense did not push and take high ground here, which would have been brutal. But look how far this cart already is. They don't even have to worry about high ground now. Once you get it to this bridge, you're in good position. Hardblue takes out Ruckus to start it.
Rockets going down means there will be no nano boost. Meanwhile, in the back, Shadowburn able to take down Shake. 3 kills here from FaZe, even with that early pick. And they just deal with it effortlessly.
Yeah, I'm actually very surprised they weren't able to transition as well as they could have. Those late stalls. It's actually kind of cool what they did on the defense there is because they only sent in 2 for late stalls, but they weren't sending everyone in to be on the ground level post those late stalls. So like they did lose 2, but the remaining 4 were already in good defensive position. We'll see what the offense has going in here. They do go into the hallway, lose 2 right away.
All right, Shadowburn moving in, 2 quick kills off the Nano Boost Dragon Blade, and it's so hard to actually hold on to that. By the way, Reaper's still a huge threat in those situations as well, as Too Easy able to take down 3.
Well, that's not what you want to see when you're going against FaZe. To see Shadowburn, Too Easy in the kill feed means that they're both on, they're both kind of feeling it right now, and it's very difficult to deal with a team who's just rock solid on supports and tanks, and then to have both your DPS just really climbing through the kill feed. Right now, though, the offense does have the ultimate advantage. They're going to try to rotate through bridge again.
All right, Shadowburn, not quite with the Dragon Blade yet, but not particularly afraid of going in, but got to be found by Hardblue. The hook does connect, brings him around the side, and 2 kills here from the side of compLexity, and finally they're getting some extra momentum. Shake gonna drop the nano boost, looking more. We have an Ana battle right now in the room. Raucus is gonna get eliminated, but not before a parting sleep dart.
That's the second time that they've used the Graviton when 2 people had already died, and it's not like a Razor's Edge decision where 2 people were dying while you threw it out. 2 people had clearly died before Zombs put out that Graviton. Maybe it's a desperation move as they try to come back in and bring back this point, but nothing working as 4 kills for compLexity, 5 kills now as Nicholas cleans up, comes across the board, and so far, ultimates have not been all of that grand from the defensive side here.
Defense definitely with a bit of trouble. I mean, they've stalled out a decent amount of time too, though, so it's not all doom and gloom.
Yeah.
Too Easy is going to have Death Blossom for the next fight. They're going to have a Dragon Blade from Shadowburn, and oh my goodness, Shadowburn got hooked by Hardblue, wasn't immediately one-shot. Now is this second hook coming in from Hardblue? Oh, the sleep! Saving Shadowburn's life. Hardblue must be a little bit tilted. Meanwhile, Nano boost on the Too Easy, letting him clean up. Gets the quad kill with ease. Because Hardblue's nowhere near there. Hardblue died off a mile away.
A very aggressive defense, which seems to suit their style. I mean, the only thing I'm knocking Zombs for on his Gravitons is you expect to hear fire at will and then see the kill feed light up a little bit with a couple kills, and so far that has not happened. This is very sneaky from Too Easy. He is lurking. Oh my god, Too Easy. No one sees him.
No one sees him at all. He is caught out here by Nicholas, but he gets a quick kill. Ends up boosting right in. It's a full team wipe coming out here from FaZe. Dragon Blade and Death Blossom. Terrible, terrible damage across the board. And honestly, I'm not even sure they needed to use both Death Blossom and Dragon Blade there. I think just one would have sufficed.
Well, still not even in a disadvantage right now, though, as they've got a couple off, Factor Fiction, Forsaken. Those are the ults you want on defense anyway, your Earth Shatters and your Sound Barriers, as Too Easy still is up top. Not looking for the Death Blossom drop-in, just looking for the support kill drop-in. They do spot him out, though. Torque and Shake could combine for something magical.
Oh, beautiful jump in by Torque, takes down Raucus. He does end up getting hit by the Earth Shatter, but he's still in this, is nano boosted. Has to put the sword away, but still, 2 kills to his name. Looking for a little bit more. Hardblue with the fall through on Roadhog. This will be a one fight here for compLexity. And now we'll see, is FaZe going to be able to reestablish? There's only 25 seconds left. They might have a chance to pull this back, but it's going to be close.
That's another time tonight we've seen a mid-fight Sound Barrier, too. It seems like teams are thinking, like, did we at least come out equal in our engagement? Then let's Sound Barrier and let's make sure we win that fight. That's exactly what happened there. They do Earth Shatter trying to finish this off.
Unfortunately for FaZe, a lot of people did get cleaned up pretty early, but here comes Zombs, powered by that Wi-Fi, does take out 2, and Too Easy gets to the back line. FaZe on the verge of holding this. Then compLexity just lost too many people. Hardblue right now is fighting, potentially losing battle, but he gets the nano boost. They're letting him take the final shot right now, takes down Too Easy, doesn't get the hook, do the Zarya shield, and unfortunately just too many people on Hardblue for him to live there.
Yeah, Nicholas is going to try to come in and get his Death Blossom going. He does get some damage, but taken out. Torque brings it back a little bit, takes down Factor Fiction, but he's all alone out there. That is going to be as far as they get the cart. And the real important question is, ZP. So we've called Numlock the 3G Express when he had to play on 3G internet. What do we call Zoms?
I don't know. There's something with Mick in its name.
I mean,
something a little bit more derogatory towards McDonald's. Yeah, I don't know.
I'm gonna ask chat. Chat, give me your energy. We're obviously too tired to think of something clever, but Zoms is playing on McDonald's Wi-Fi. Might be a joke. You might even be lying to us. But 3G Express was a great nickname for Numlocked. What do we call Zoms? McZoms seems too easy, so I'm gonna leave it to the wit of chat.
Yeah, McZoms. That's just too much.
Yeah.
Like it's. That's just like, oh, you're talking about McDonald's, just name him Mick whatever. No, yeah. It needs to be a little bit more clever.
Yeah.
I'm just more impressed that he doesn't have internet at his house right now due to the storm, and yet he's somehow able to, like, McDonald's internet is the rock. That's the thing where it's always there. I don't even know anymore. Either way, taking a look here at the defense as it rolls out here for the side of compLexity. It's going to be Joe Meister here on the Lucio, JKW on Winston, Harblue on Roadhog, Nicholas on the Tracer, Torque on Genji, and Shake gonna be rounding it out here on the Ana.
Kind of interesting to see the defensive Tracer here. Not something you see on Gibraltar a whole lot because there's not all those great of paths to get around on the backside. I mean, you can get behind them, but when you're getting behind them, you're generally fighting in car wash, and that's not the easiest retreat for a Tracer unless you're going to rewind. So a bit of an interesting pick, the defense. I mean, I like it because I like Tracer, but we'll see how that goes. But it has been Tracer and Genji on this defense is kind of odd. Offensively, Zoms is going to play the Zarya. It does look like Shadowburn will be playing offensive Genji. Factor Fiction will be on the Reinhardt. Raucus on Ana. Forsaken will play Lucio, and Too Easy playing the Roadhog.
Alright, and let's not forget we will be having Shadowburn on that Hanzo, so Hanzo, feast or famine, but Shadowburn definitely one of the better Hanzos in the business. He's known more for his Genji, and oh my goodness, Forsaken just getting scooped immediately by Harblue. Harblue not having any of that, but counter scoops coming in. Winston having to leap out of there and hurry. Winston, though, will live to find our days. Harblue with another 2 scoops for Harblue to start things out.
Well, we talked about Harblue on the offense. It's his map, but Harblue has one game single-handedly on his defense on this map. He beat Cloud9 by himself on this map, so we'll see. He's already on full form right now, taking out that first really early kill. He does get slept up top, but no pressure coming in on him as he just takes a brief siesta.
And Harblue, I mean, this has been a good start. We've seen Harblue do terrible things to teams on defense on Gibraltar in the past. This would not be his first rodeo, to say the least. And right now, Harblue versus Too Easy. Too Easy getting saved by that Zarya shield. No hook there for Harblue. But he's just landing in left click after left click. Too Easy eating way too much damage. Gonna get knocked to the side, still somehow alive. Finally going down, and Harblue looking around right now, gonna miss his hook, and a little bit of punishment coming out here from FaZe, though it is very back and forth.
I mean, all this has been happening, but they still push the cart so hard. That was just Joe Meiser, or it was just Forsaken actually hanging out on the cart, pushing it all the way to where it is right now. They are going to try to bring it back with this Dragon Blade as Torque tries to come alive. Takes down 2 immediately. Factor Fiction trying to swing back on his Reinhardt. It is getting very scrappy down there. They got a lot of pressure, not able to finish out this point, though.
No, they're not, and every minute here matters here for the side of compLexity as they defend this. FaZe a bit against the ropes. However, going into the next fight, they will have Sound Barrier. They're getting very close to getting Graviton, and we know just how deadly Graviton Dragon Strike can be. One of the harder things to avoid in the game. Not impossible to avoid, but certainly you just can't get hit by a big Graviton, period, as Torque rolls right in, takes down Shadowburn. Trading back and forth, but losing your Hanzo early on, kind of rough when you're expecting to get a lot of contribution out of Shadowburn.
Super rough when Zoms is at 98% and they were expecting to get that as the initiation fight. They wanted to get that combo going, and now they have to wait a little bit, so it does buy them about 10 seconds.
So both teams still trending out here. The defense definitely starting to build their war chest as well, though. Joe Meister has a Sound Barrier. They might just be popping this here in a moment. Sound Barrier, Nano Boost could be all they need. JKW already going Primal Rage. So one Sound Barrier out here from the offense. And I gotta think Joe Meister's gonna counter here in just a moment. He's holding on to it, and no, he doesn't get it off in time. The Graviton Dragon Strike is out. No Sound Barrier out here for the defense. It would be miraculous if compLexity held here, but they might be doing that. Harblue fighting right back.
Getting very close. Only Nick was
Well,
alive on the
late
court,
delay,
though, and Tracer is good at stalling out, but just such a low health pool. Gets chunked in the face with a hammer. Here comes Joe Meister again.
Oh
He
my
does
goodness!
sound barrier.
It's .07. The sound barrier still comes in late. It might be too little too late, though. It's Factor Fiction. Nano Boost Reinhardt swings the hammer, cleans things out. And that's going to be 4 extra kills here for the side of FaZe.
Joe Meister did his best, did bring back the sound barrier, then booped someone off the card, kept his team alive, but that will be first point captured, though. They do have 3.5 minutes to get through shuttle phase. Right now, offense in a pretty solid position as they're rolling through defense, not able to take high ground. The May wall does complicate things, though.
This complicates a little bit. Harbly right now just staying on top, and it will be complexity reestablishing. But I gotta say, I wonder how that last fight goes. Joe Meister just hits his Q a little bit earlier, but here we go. Harbly right now getting on the Zom. Zom's gonna find himself turning into a popsicle. Does get away just in time. Tables are turned on JKW, and FaZe actually putting this back in their favor. It was looking good for complexity to start things out, but FaZe now really establishing some momentum.
Harbly does build a wall, but he is only going to be able to stall it out as they are going to rotate around. Do they have the bodies in here to be able to kind of come back here? There is the Reinhardt up in the corner, but they know that's the entry points. It's going to be very difficult, but Harbly, if he can get alive up in time, he does have Blizzard going here, could stall out this point cap.
As May says, she is ready to start a Blizzard, and that Blizzard going to be coming in right here, right now. Harblu going to back. No fear from this Reinhardt. May should be a little bit of fear because Harblu's team is dying all around him. Factor Fiction swing the hammer till he's down to 5 HP, but even though Harblu might live here, he doesn't want to live anymore. He is going full Celeste, jumps off the cliff into the water. That's a lot of resetting going on.
Offensively, they're just about having everything that they want. The only person without an ult is going to be Ana, and we know how fast her ultimate charges anyway. Zoms, Factor Fiction, everyone across the board will have it. They are loaded for bear here on their next push, and really right now, it's just up to complexity to stop the bleeding.
complexity, they had a really good early defense, but they've fallen apart after that. Earthshadow comes in for JKW, knocks down 3, just went right under the Reinhardt shield, but counter Reinhardt charts, Factor Fiction, bringing it right back. And let's talk about 2easy. 2easy's been the stealth hero for a lot of these fights in the last few minutes. Rolling in once more, gonna take down Harblu. 2 picks for him to start things out. Still moving forward, full HP. Zarya in his sights, Torque going to go down, and right now it's FaZe keeping up a whole lot of momentum.
Well, this is the most dangerous version of 2easy, when he's consistent and quiet, where he's just doing damage in the backline, not making flashy plays, but like just chunking in on people and kind of doing the assistant DPS play, because that's all he's been doing in the backline as McCree. He's barely died. He goes down here, so this last push is going to be stifled. But when you're not saying like 2easy's out of position or going crazy, that's when 2easy's at his most dangerous, because he's just contributing to his team effort.
Absolutely is, and complexity, they are able to fight back at least a little bit here. They still are going to have to hold here for a minute 55, so that's 2 to 3 pushes that FaZe is going to have to turn this in their favor. They do have a Graviton up. Defense has a Graviton up. The problem is here is that I don't really think anyone would want to go for a junk rush here. Certainly, you take a look at FaZe, they could go for a junk rush, but they just won't have enough time. So everyone, all hands on deck. They're both going to go for it. Graviton's coming out on both ends, but here come the Happy Little Skulls being brought up by 2easy, moving to the right side. Gonna take down JKW off that Deadeye. First 2 kills coming out here from FaZe. 2easy piling on. It's 3 kills from FaZe, and they are moving on to the home stretch.
All right, starts off really nice, but remember the defensive enforcements are going to be coming in right through this point, so not quite over yet, but they do continue to pile on kills. 2easy and Forsaken combined for 4, looking really rough for the defense right now. They have to hold this point to win this map.
And this is good, looking very good for FaZe here. Remember that no matter what, you are going to get an extra minute here for the side. Or no, you're not. They didn't complete it. I'm losing my mind. They just never finished it. So that is going to be a full-on completion for FaZe. They win the map. We're going to move on to map 2.
Yeah, it is kind of funny that 2easy is at his most dangerous when he's at his most quiet. When you don't notice 2easy is when you're dying to 2easy. He got so much damage in there that it wasn't necessarily kill feed until towards the end where he started racking like 2 and 3 kills. But he was hitting those like headshots that other people were cleaning up all throughout the map, just kind of chilling back, not being super aggressive. 2easy gets punished a lot when he gets super aggressive on his McCree, and if he can just constrain himself to playing like, I'm just gonna do damage, my name doesn't need to be in the kill feed, that's when this team gets so dangerous. And that's why we give Shadowburn a lot of the credit, because he's always cleaning up those kills. But a lot of it is too easy. When he's playing more conservatively, I think it's his best version of himself.
It really is, and I think the times where they've done well against, say, Rogue, a lot of times where FaZe is able to do well against Rogue is that Too Easy wasn't going for the hero plays.
Yeah.
He wasn't going, say, full AKM hero mode. He was just sitting in the back and neutralizing Tavik, and sometimes that's all you have to do when playing a hero like McCree.
No, and there was a couple games against Rogue, as you mentioned, where he was doing so much damage that Tavik was like diving him and trying to like really eliminate Too Easy, and he just flashbang him and move on. Like it was an amazing play that he got in people's heads by not trying to get in people's heads, if that makes any sense. Like I think it is the way he plays best, like on this current roster especially. So if we can see that version of Too Easy, this FaZe team is going to be tough to beat.
Absolutely, and Too Easy does have more time to dedicate to the game nowadays as well, so that certainly helps.
Yeah,
One thing to note, by the way, I feel like chat did have a consensus, like some people were calling Zom Zomburger.
Zomburger.
It's kind of interesting.
Yeah.
It fits with the theme.
All right.
Just a bit.
Okay.
And so both teams should be ready here in just a moment. FaZe, of course, taking map number 1.
So glad I'm not running lobby right now. Yeah,
I'm with you, man.
The rest of this map pool is Nepal and then Eichenwald. So if we go to map 3, I believe that'll be Eichenwald. So we're going to head into Nepal here right now. This is FaZe up 1-0 versus compLexity. After this, we still have one more set. Then we're calling it a night.
Yep, it's been a long one, but it's been a good one.
I learned long ago that you will never get any sympathy from chat talking about the caster's life.
Oh no, we are here to just be objects for the people's entertainment. It's actually the more tired we get and the more likely we are to make a career-destroying mistake, the more entertaining it becomes. The stakes get higher, Hex. It's funny because it's true.
Yeah, well, scrutiny is part of the job, it appears. So Too Easy does look like he wants to run this Tracer here, at least on the King of the Hill. And Tracer, I guess Hardblue is going to run Roadhog, and that should be a battle to watch, because otherwise you run Tracer v Tracer. But right now, compLexity looks like they don't want to run that kind of composition at all, which is a little bit weird. I'm a little bit surprised that either Torque or Nicholas not on the Tracer, but Too Easy could run wild here. Tracer is a problem on King of the Hill if you don't have an answer to her, so we'll see what Hardblue can do about it.
And you are looking as lovely.
We will see. I will say this, though, is that Too Easy's pretty... It's sort of the immovable force meets the unstoppable object here, where you have the entire case of... Also, I'm pretty sure I got that reversed, but either way, it's the entire case where Too Easy is really good at avoiding hooks, but Hardblue's really good at landing hooks, so we'll see which ends up superior here. As you can tell, this is where fatigue definitely starts hitting in a little bit. No swap outs or anything like that today, no desk, just full on this. But for first hook coming out here from Hardblue, gonna go in the Reinhardt, Factor Fiction, getting shaken, not entirely stirred, still up and alive. And Zomzo going to get the first pick off of the game, takes down Nicholas in the back. Too Easy on the Hardblue, so Tracer v Roadhog, point to Too Easy, as FaZe will be taking this point.
I just don't think you can afford to not run a Tracer on control maps nowadays. I think she's that good. Tracer is just, it's not even necessarily about like tracking, which is everyone has it across the board. It's about like cooldown battles. And Tracer just wins every single cooldown battle that you see a hook and you know that you have 6 seconds. You can call that to your team. You're baiting out all of these abilities from your team. You're making the other team fight just kind of underpowered because you're making them try to deal with you, and then you just blink away and rewind and you're fine. I think that Tracer is a necessity to run at control points, and so far working out for this FaZe roster.
All right, well, here comes compLexity once more. Hardblue with the first pick, but Shadowburn exploding, taking down 3 in the backline. Nano boost into Death Blossom. It is the flavor of the meta, and Shadowburn pretty darn comfortable with it. And Shadowburn, not on the Genji, but still getting results. It's not, again, with Shadowburn, it's not that his other characters are bad. It's that his Genji is so good that you sometimes wonder.
His Reaper's been fine, though. And actually, it was one of the big questions I had about him early on, is can he play anything else to a level of just okay? You don't have to play it great, but just okay. And his Reaper, I think, over the last month or so, has gotten much better than it was when he first debuted.
And Shadowburn right now moving in once more, getting onto the Hog. Down goes Hardblue. And Too Easy with the bomb, taking down 3. Not even set up, just a spur of the moment. Here, please hold this as We see FaZe keeping control of the point, 73%. And I wonder if this is a bit of a map drafting flaw here for compLexity, because historically, when you look at FaZe, they've usually been pretty good on control maps.
Yeah, well, also, like, 2 of the last 3 fights, they focused down and killed Hardblue first, which is the cheat code to beat compLexity. If you can take out Hardblue and make the rest of your team not worry about those insane hooks, you're in a good spot.
Soundbear coming up here. Factor Fiction gonna drop the Earth Shatter. Not sure how many he got there, but it is 2 kills here from the side of compLexity. JKW moving in. Too Easy firing right back, but it is gonna be Too Easy and Zombs trying to be hero mode here. Wouldn't count out Too Easy though, he's still in this. Will take out the Reinhardt, has the pulse bomb, but no, the heroism stops there. Torque going to melt his face right off, but honestly, this is still pretty good for FaZe. 99% to 0. Sure, compLexity's gonna get control of it right now, but this is a lot of attempts, a lot of time to bank ultimates, and just a lot of options available here for FaZe as they decide how they want to crack this nut.
Well, they have the ult advantage right now, and like you said, all they have to really do is win 1 fight. That hook comes out, so they're going to actually jump in right now. Here comes the Nana boost onto Shadowburn as he tries to bully everyone out of the point. Another Reaper on a boost comes out. Factor Fiction commits Honorable Sudoku. Really back and forth right now.
It is back and forth. Both Reapers got the nano boost to start things out. It is starting to degenerate player versus player, but this is where a hero like Tracer really excels. He is going to tag Hardblue for the quick death, but
not enough.
Don't think it was enough. It was close from FaZe, but they're going to have to try again.
Well, probably 3 more pushes to just win 1 fight, so 1 out of 3 are their odds to take this. They are kind of slow pushing onto this point as everyone gets back in here. A nice initiation as they get some good presence on the point from Fact.
In Factor Fiction right now, he's just waiting for the Earth Shatter. Gonna get charged instead, taken down by Shake with authority.
All right.
3 quick kills coming out here from the side of compLexity.
Back to the drawing board.
And they're holding it in.
Yeah, Shadowburn and Factor Fiction are going to have their ults up next time, but we're getting down to it. Now, like I said, there were 3 pushes when they started that, and now probably 2 good pushes, and they only need to win 1 fight. At 99% to 0, it always feels awful mentally if you end up losing this kind of round. Maybe they wait for Zombs here and make their next push good, as Zombs as 91%. Too Easy, a little bit away from a pulse bomb, though.
And we're taking a look at Nicholas. Nicholas still holding on to that Death Blossom. Just waiting to come out from around the corner and use it. Graviton gonna be setting him up. And right now, he's just using primary fire. Doesn't need to use the Death Blossom just yet, but gonna get knocked right on his butt. Shadowburn from the other side. It is super close between this. 2 people down for compLexity, 3 people down for FaZe. FaZe getting bled out, and so is compLexity. It is coming down 2 versus 2 here in the end. Too Easy though. 2 HP, not going to be enough. And that's right now. It's an overtime. compLexity on the verge of turning this right back in. Will they touch a point in time? They will not.
Wow.
Oh my goodness. So what a comeback coming in from compLexity to get that back in their favor. Unfortunately for FaZe, that last fight took so long that it sort of ate up 2 attempts in 1.
Yeah, no, I did think that they were going to have another push in them, but they did kind of slow roll it onto that point. That feels awful. And a team like FaZe, where you know that a lot of how well they play, I mean, I'm specifically referencing Too Easy, is their mental makeup and how they feel they can play. That sucks. Like, you losing 99% to 0 when you only had 1 kill could put you on tilt. So that should be something to be aware of. Too Easy does switch off of the Tracer, is going to play Mei. Because, hey, when you get tilted and you're mad at the Worlds, play Mei.
I don't even think it's tilt in this case either. I think it's just Mei is really, really good on this particular stage in Nepal. Like, her wall can shut off huge portions of the point. So Too Easy, it just makes sense. Plus, it gives you a little bit of breathing room in this first fight as well.
They're going to Braveheart it up top here as they both look forward to each other. JKW taking out Shadowbird early is a nice pick. Tank-wise, he is rocking it. 6v4 right now as JKW adds in another kill.
JKW going to be turning into a popsicle. It is taken out by Too Easy at the very end, so FaZe still in it, still fighting despite having the numbers disadvantage. Too Easy not giving up yet. Is Rockus able to take that Gelmeister? And oh my goodness, FaZe is fighting this back. You wouldn't have thought so to start things out, but uh-oh. Here comes Nano Boost onto the Reaper. Will this be the finishing blow? Nicholas, who will stop him? Looking
Really
like
nice.
a lot of people will stop him. Just too much damage going on him. Not able to get the kills he's looking for. And Shadowburn delivers the coup de grace. And FaZe, they get first control of the point.
Really nice disengage there, and honestly a lot of teams after 2 kills come off on them, they would have just retreated, but I think the tipping point for FaZe is 3 kills. If they get down to 3v6, then they back out, but they actually turned it around by only going down 2 there, and now the initiation does not work out at all, and they were able to clean it up completely. So 25% for FaZe as they chase down a couple more kills. Looking good so far.
Remember, this is how the last round started out too, where FaZe was looking absolutely unstoppable, and then they lost control once and were never able to bring it back. So for FaZe, they must be continually vigilant here, regardless of the advantage they find themselves in.
Well, they're just holding high ground. It's a little surprising that compLexity keeps into this high ground given the advantage that they have, but they are going to have ultimate advantage here. Graviton comes in, but they're not able to get in from the follow because the ice wall blocks them all out.
The Blizzard does stop a team from diving right in onto a Graviton as Too Easy and Zombs getting the first 2 kills of this fight. They deal with the Graviton beautifully. Ice Wall going to stop Reaper's escape. Not like this, but here comes the Blizzard. Too Easy might be regretting keeping Nicholas from running back out because he wasn't... Nicholas isn't... What? I had a good count there, but I was going to go full Rorschach. Just take it away, X. I'm losing my mind.
I wanted to hear the Rorschach. Anyway, they do come in and are able to clean it up there. Yeah, Nicholas gets a triple kill on his death loss. I'm able to come in, and yeah, you got to be starting to worry now if you're FaZe, because you've dominated the early halves of these, and you can't help but think that last time you were at 99, you got shut out afterwards. Now you're at 70. Are you going to get shut out afterwards? Your initiation gets cut in half as only 2 get in off the ice wall.
Shadowburn right now looking to get in, prioritizing the Reinhardt, going to take him out, down to start things out. It does have Death Blossom here and at the ready. Doesn't have a clump really to go into just yet. For now, just very content, laying in the primary fire, getting on his counterpart Nicholas, and overall, it's going to be FaZe with way more momentum here in this fight. Torque trying to fight it back, but probably going to be too little too late as Zombs on fire. Yeah, you might even say he's blowing away the competition right now, Hex.
I won't say that, actually. Zombs does come in, though. He does put the Graviton onto his team. They do get both tanks in there, try and clean him up as Zombs takes down JKW. Still has control at this point. Counter grab comes in very late. Can Nicholas bring the ruckus here to try to clean it up? No, there is an Earth Shatter 2. None of these ults really finding purchase or hitting home. They are going to Nana boost their Shadowburn as well as he tries to come around the corner to lock this out. That should be FaZe bringing this stage even 1-1 on Nepal.
Poor Tracer, man, just doing the mini cartwheel at the end in the death animation, but FaZe definitely bringing it right back.
Yep, 1-1 on Nepal. Been pretty back and forth here. It's very difficult to call this one. It's been... I kind of want to say it's been based on how their Reapers are playing, because Nicholas has gotten like a 3K, and that's when they look really good, and when Shadowburn's playing really well, that's when they look good. Too Easy, of course, had a nice Tracer game. Now he's on the Mei, but these teams are very close right now, and yeah, nothing more. Fatigue is setting in for me as well. Need more coffee.
Need more coffee, need a rotation, something like that, because just sitting here, I'm just like, I had to get up at 7 a.m. for a dentist appointment this morning, so I am actually just on fumes. It is terrible, but we are getting in here on the Sanctum phase. Both teams going at it once more. Both trading out poke to start things out, both teams running the Reinhardt, and this is why you're seeing Reinhardt more and more, especially in phases like this in control maps. It just gives you more of a buffer in these poke wars, and Zombs 100% charge, maximum charge for Zarya, as she says herself, and it's letting FaZe do a little bit better in this poke war, but you take a look at compLexity, they're going instead for the point. Rock is thrown into the pit by that hook. And it is very close right now between both teams, but Zombs being a little bit more aggro, still at 100% charge, Too Easy, rolling right in, gonna get the double kill, and FaZe, they might have lost first control of the point, but they're gonna take this right back.
compLexity knocked 2 people into the point, too. They opened that up with a hook from Harblue, who knocked Raucus into the point, then they got a boop off the edge, too, so it was 6v4, but then they just got steamrolled by the might of this FaZe roster. They rolled over them, got a ton of damage in, and it's a little interesting to see that how far back they're holding. There's a hidden Shadowburn here. Shadowburn is hiding in the corner. Emo Reaper.
So let's first pick off here from the side of FaZe. Graviton comes in a little bit late, and it's way too late because all the cleanup going the way of Shadowburn and Factor Fiction. They're going to hold on.
Yeah, didn't even have to really burn a ton of ults. The Graviton that was out was actually from compLexity there, as the FaZe was able to hold their Graviton, so a huge ultimate advantage now. So now they're going to choose to hold a little further forward. Shadowburn, I didn't even know you could get up here. Shadowburn on top of the bookcases. Maybe that'll get patched out as Reaper's, transportation gets patched out every single patch note. But Shadowburn does vacate that area. They do try to rotate here. This is a weird push from Hardblue, taking on early.
Shadowburn moving in. He does take on Hardblue early. Death Blossom coming in, laying the fight with the nano boost. It's going to be a 4K here for Shadowburn. Make it 5. Final shot going into Nicholas. And Reinhardt going to be the last to fall. So Shadowburn with all sorts of mopping up there. As FaZe, they're still looking very dominant, where again, we have seen compLexity come back and do a full turnabout, but it's really hard to do that effectively. They're going to have their last attempt here at this round in just a moment. Going to be opened up here at the sound barrier, and we'll see if Hardblue and JKW can do it. Going to be come down to the support and tank play for compLexity if they want to stay alive in this round.
They did try to get the wall in there, didn't grab everyone, but here comes the Blizzard to zone out on the point. Lucio is in it, does get taken out of the Blizzard, but there goes Too Easy. Forsaken and Factor Fiction grab a couple so far. A beautiful Earth Shatter from Factor Fiction should clean up this mess.
And there it is, FaZe looking even stronger. They're going to take this round, and now 1 round away from dispatching compLexity, being that much closer to the #1 in this group.
Yeah, so we got a little bit more of Nepal yet to go. FaZe so far looking like the better team, and I think that's kind of holding the standard. We expected FaZe to do very well in this tournament. compLexity still kind of in prove it mode, but they are holding their own against FaZe, which is nice. And the good thing for FaZe is that they didn't let the 99 to 0% loss get to them, because I feel that they are a team that would be susceptible to kind of crumbling after that, to going on tilt. They're an emotional group of players, but able to bounce back from that is a good sign for them.
Alrighty, so we are going here back to where we begun, into the village stage of Nepal, and both Reinhardt's going to be coming out here once more. And both Mays. So May, of course, a big part of this particular stage. Really good on the high ground, really good on the point. May, in general, just really strong overall as Hardblue right now, trying to split the FaZe team. Not entirely successful. FaZe sort of going round and about. They're definitely prioritizing the point a little bit more. I think they want compLexity to come to them.
With the flanking May behind, tries to get a lot done, does cut out half of that attacking team, but Factor Fiction takes down Nicholas early. There goes Hardblue 6v4 right now with Shadowburn. Continues to work. Factor Fiction stays alive with just a sliver of health. JKW trying to bring it back to the point. They do get a couple kills early on, trying to bring it back as compLexity.
compLexity doing a decent job of trying to bring it back, but here we go. Nano Boost coming out, lane to the fight. Zombs, highly charged, picks up the double kill. And it will be FaZe coming out on top once more. They get first control. And this is problematic for compLexity. Again, if they're not able to bring this back, that's going to be the round, the map, and the series. And FaZe definitely looking pretty darn strong right now.
Well, they're going to have to push into a Graviton too, so they should know that based on how much damage Zombs did to them. It's kind of like an internal clock that teams have in their head, so pushing through this corner might not be the best idea. They get walled off immediately by another sneaky wall from Too Easy, and they clean up 2 tanks early.
Shadowburn moving in, looking for a little more. It's 2 quick kills here from the side of FaZe, and Shadowburn in perfect position to mop it up. The wall setting him up perfectly. And FaZe, they're just feeling full control of this right now. Even when compLexity did have their round where they brought things back, it sort of felt as more like FaZe messing up than anything else, because it's just, they're a little bit above in a few key areas, notably just the DMing side of things, just a bit above, where Too Easy's been having a great game, Shadowburn's been having a great game. Ult-wise, though, we are heading into an ult showdown right now. Both teams are ready and loaded for bear. Both teams will be dropping the beat. And we'll see how this works out here as Graviton does come in. Shadowburn coming in from the back. Doesn't go for the Death Blossom just yet. Figures that Sound Bear is coming in, and he's right. But a lot of ults going down right now, Hex.
Too Easy's walls have just been flat out better, and like that's no knock on Hardblue, but Too Easy seems to have put in a ton of time on May because it just looks clever. They look very smart. He knows exactly when to hit them, at what angle, and what position he needs to be in to put those walls up exactly where his team needs to be. His team has not fought 6v6 for the last 15 minutes. He's always segmenting them off. They're fighting 4v6 every time because his walls and his positioning have just been phenomenal. It looks like he has really put in a ton of time time on Mei, and then specifically on these control point Mei walls. It's been great to watch.
I gotta say, I apologize to the stream. I kept out Shadowburn way too long when he was just doing a wavy carrot thing, but that is why it was. Shadowburn dropping in, gets the 3K with the nano boost. Gonna be looking for a little bit more right now. The remnants of compLexity going to be mopped up, and this will be the map and series going the way of FaZe. Well done to them.
Yeah, and I agree with you that probably the 99-0 that they lost was a bit of an anomaly, but it is an anomaly that could have hurt them as a team, as a unit, just how they play. But here's Shadowburn on his Reaper, which has been excellent as of late. He has really stepped up his Reaper play, no longer just a simple Genji main, as he's gotten it going on Reaper, which you need. You have to have a pool, because the meta will shift around you, and Shadowburn with a 4K on his Death Blossom there looked really good. But I think Too Easy played great, and Too Easy played great because he played quiet and he played conservative and just so smart on those Mei walls. If you look back on it, they were always getting cut in half because they never saw him, they never knew it was coming, and he cut off so many corners on King of the Hill. That's something to look out for in the future. FaZe's Too Easy on control maps, phenomenal stuff.